Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, we're going to post some Women's History Month videos on my YouTube channel.
I don't care about your YouTube channel. So he's loudmouth. Loudmouth jerk.
Plus,
You get emotional.
I'm trying to get more subscribers, dude.
No, you ain't. You lie. I know how you lie. You talk like an idiot. And what a dude.
Yeah. I got it.
Oh, no. Let's go wait over here and up there. Well, that's up. There you go here. There. Over here.
Women's History Month.
Women's History Month. You know that every March Americans celebrate women's history month. For real. Today, we...
Walking would have been fun.
Breaking news. Spider-Man saves the day again. This guy's doing good. What today? Just got dropped there for you.
Women's History Month. Do you know that every March Americans celebrate women's history month? For real. Today, we are going to talk about the origins of women's history month and why it's so important. You have probably heard about famous women in American history like Harriet Tubman, Women's History Month. Do you know that every March Americans celebrate Women's History Month? For real. Today, we are going to talk about the origins of Women's History Month and why it is so important to celebrate. You have probably heard about famous women in American history like Harriet Tubman and Abigail Adams. But what about Eleanor Dare or Mary Chilton? Eleanor Dare traveled to the Roanoke colony in the year 1587 and most likely gave birth to the first English child born on the North American continent. At age 12, Mary Chilton was so excited to get off the Mayflower that she jumped into the water and waded onto land, making her the first person on the ship to set foot on Plymouth Rock. Neither of these stories were well known until historians discovered the information, which is why knowing women's history is essential. To understand more, let's talk a little bit about world history, with an emphasis on his. For much of the world's history, only males have written and published stories about the past. This is because women were not treated equally to men, nor did they have access to the same opportunities and education. Here is an example. In colonial America, women could not own property or vote in elections. In many places, females were not allowed to go to school, and if they were allowed, they were not often taught the same subjects as males. This is because society at the time believed that women were fundamentally unequal to men, which seems kind of ridiculous when we talk about it today. However, This idea has existed throughout history and is a product of patriarchy. Patriarchy is a system of society or government in which men hold power and women are largely excluded. Where men were taught academic skills like reading, writing, and mathematics, women were taught domestic arts, or how to manage a household. These differences in education maintained the power imbalance between men and women up until modern times. And even today, inequities between genders still exist, which is why it is important that we celebrate Women's History Month. It is a way that we can celebrate the contributions of women, not only today, but throughout history. So, how did the celebration of Women's History Month start? Like many historical movements, a small group of people recognized the shortcomings in learning a male-centered history and decided to do something about it to create change. In March of 1978, a group of educators in Santa Rosa, California, thought that more could be done to further the cause of women's equality and to bring awareness to the significant historical contributions that women have made over the years. They planned a Women's History Week to correspond with International Women's Day on March 8th. By 1980, the movement had spread throughout the country and gained the attention of President Jimmy Carter. After meeting with women's groups, historians, and the National Women's History Project, which is now called the National Women's History Alliance, or NWHA, President Carter proclaimed that the week of March 8th would be National Women's History Week. At the time, President Carter said, "Too often, women were unsung and sometimes their contributions went unnoticed. But the achievements, leadership, courage, strength, and love of the women who built America was as vital as that of the men whose names we know so well." Nice, President Carter. 1 year later, Congress joined with the president by passing a resolution declaring the week of March 8th as the official start of Women's History Week. 7 years later, Congress passed a law authorizing the president to proclaim March as Women's History Month. It has been celebrated that way ever since. Since then, the NWHA has selected a yearly theme for the month. And the rest, as they say, is her story. What are some ways that you can celebrate the contributions of women throughout history? Hope you had fun learning with us.
All right.
Visit us at learnbright.org.
And post videos about Women's History Month.
For no matter what crosses your path, get coverage confidence with AAA Insurance.
Hey everybody! In today's video, we're going to learn all about Women's History Month. Let's go! The month of March is National Women's History Month.
Schools and neighborhoods all over the country celebrate the wonderful things that women have achieved in our country. So, how did National Women's History Month start?
Good question, Quinn. Women in multiple countries began organizing campaigns to fight for their rights to vote and run for office during the mid-19th century. They became known as suffragists or suffragettes. In 1904, Millicent Fawcett and Carrie Chapman Catt, along with other leading women's rights activists, formed the International Women's Suffrage Alliance. And then Clara Zetkin organized International Women's Day on March 19th in the year 1911. And this annual celebration was about encouraging peace and women's rights.
Sadly, the idea didn't really work the way Clara Zetkin intended until the 1960s.
During the 1960s, interest in this particular day was reintroduced during the women's movement.
Next, educators in Santa Rosa, California began celebrating Women's History Week in March 1978.
And this week was created to increase understanding of women's contributions to society.
And this group of educators wanted to attract attention to the fact that women's history wasn't really included in any school curriculum.
And these organizers used parades, essay contests, and other school activities to help create more awareness for the celebration.
Over the next few years, other cities all around the country joined Santa Rosa.
Now we all know a little bit more about National Women's History Month.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to smash that thumbs up button. It really helps out our channel.
Sure does.
Make sure.
Hey everybody, in today...
Alright, if you like my channel, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to push the notification bell when I post a video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.